We are live. So happy to be here today. Looking forward to the conversation with an amazing creative person. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Ray Safal, salut. Comment vas-tu? Seyni, how are you doing, man? I'm gonna send you. All right, I'll send you another one. Welcome, welcome. Okay, here we go. Et ça, tu vas bien? Okay. Seyni, if you hear me, just write something. I'm gonna send you another invitation. Here we go. It's going through. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep sending you invitations. Hello, everybody. All right, let me send you another one. Okay, let's see if it works one or the other. Here we go.
Kyle, can you see me?
I can see you very well.
Can you hear
Can you
me?
see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you too. I
can hear you too. All right.
Awesome.
But I can't see you anymore.
You can't see me?
Nope.
All right. So this sometimes happens, and I'm not quite sure how to get out of it.
Should we start over?
We could start over, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to let you come out, and I'll bring you back in.
Sounds good. Let me try.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to send you an invitation. Hello, Jules. Hello, everyone. Bonjour à tous. Ok, j'envoie une invitation à Seyni. How is this?
Wait, this is not.
No, you need to, revert.
Yeah, but I still can't see you.
You can't see me?
No.
Yeah, that's
but
weird.
I can hear you. I mean.
Yeah, we're gonna have to maybe do it that way. I am definitely on the picture, and you are. So that's what we will see at the end of the day. Sorry you can't see me. I'm looking really good, you know.
I mean, I saw you before I joined, so I can confirm that. I like the shirt.
You're looking great, actually. You're looking great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's do it in franglais right now. Je vais te poser quelques questions sur les Jeux Olympiques. Je sais qu'il y a pas mal de francophones qui sont là. Je ferai les traductions. Donc ne vous inquiétez pas si vous ne parlez pas l'anglais. On fera des traductions. So what do you think of the Olympic Games right now?
I'm not really tuned in because I didn't have much time to watch, a lot of events. I like the Olympic Games as an event. Every time I had the chance to watch it, I did. So I tried to follow basketball. I watched the game between the U.S. and South Sudan. That was fun.
Yeah.
I watched a bit of horse riding.
Yeah.
And I see a few things online on social media.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And France is doing good.
Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly surprised at how well France is doing. Maybe my recollection is not so good, but being first or second in a number of medals, even early, that must have been rare. And I think it's like, obviously the whole French people are motivating the French sports people.
Yeah.
But they also have a few athletes that are amazing. Like there's this guy called, he's an amazing swimmer, and he reminds me of Michael Phelps. They've had the same coach, Bowman. His name is Léon Marchand.
Yeah,
And yesterday he
I saw it
won
online.
2 gold medals, one for
Amazing.
200 butterfly and one for 200 breaststroke. Amazing, amazing.
That's amazing. I'm
Yeah,
I'm waiting for Senegal to win a medal.
I tell you, there was this guy Ibrahima Diaw who played very, very well. He played table tennis
Okay.
against a player that was 40 ranks above him, and he
And he
won
did
in
well.
seven sets. He
Amazing.
lost in 7 sets. It
Oh,
was very
I mean,
close, very close. Yeah,
too bad, but I'm still rooting for us, and hopefully we'll get at least one.
yeah,
And if not, I think we should be pushing our athletes more to get them to the Olympic Games, to give them all they need to to participate. And also we have the Olympic Games in 2026 in Dakar, the young
yes, indeed.
for young people. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So
That'll be
that will
fun.
be fun. I will be here.
Indeed. Indeed, I look forward to it too. So
Great.
we're going to give it another 30 seconds and get started. Speaking of the Olympic Games, I put my hat up to Mr. Amadou Diaba. I was fortunate to be in the same club as him when he actually won he finished number 2 on 400 hurdles, which is one of the hardest races of all. 400 hurdles
Congrats.
at the Olympic Games. I think it was in Los Angeles back in the
Okay.
90s. Yeah, Amadou Diaba, Senegalese guy, obviously.
Well,
Yeah,
congrats to him.
yeah, yes, indeed. So let's get started. Welcome, my dear friend. Welcome, Seyni
Thank
B,
you.
Seyni Ba, to Acosphere Instagram Live. Welcome everybody for being here. So, pour les francophones, ne vous inquiétez pas, je traduirai l'essentiel de ce qui va se dire dans cette conversation, qui sera en anglais, avec Seyni Ba. So, let me introduce you formally, my dear friend. So, Seyni Ba, ladies and gentlemen, is a unique individual with a diverse set of skills that defies any simple categorization. He can't be put in a box. He has a solid foundation in civil engineer, believe it or not. And then he broadened his spectrum by going out and studying marketing and communication, and now works into that field. He spent about 10 years developing himself outside of Senegal with the basic studies made in Senegal, and he spent 10 years studying and actually working outside of Senegal, and now he came back, and he still works into the construction business and using his civil engineering skills, but he is a creative. He is a photographer, he is a film director, and he's also a DJ, ladies and gentlemen. He also DJs. He's got multidisciplinary talent, and we look forward to discovering this. Bonjour, bienvenue, welcome, my dear Seyni.
Merci. Thank you, Jaredif, for this beautiful introduction. Thank
You
you.
deserve it. You
I'm
deserve
honored
even
to be
more.
here, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. The honor is mutual. So let me start with this. What is your story? Tell us your story, whichever way you want to tell us.
Ah, all right. It's not an easy task to tell one story, but I will try. And hearing the introduction, I feel like it can be confusing to people, but I hope I'll help it make sense. So I was born in Dakar, so I'm a pure Dakar boy, born and raised in a small family. It's a family of four, my parents and my sister. But as a true African, we have a larger family when you bring in the cousins and everyone else. So I was born here, and Dakar was a great city to grow up in. There was not a lot of, it's not as many people as today, not that much traffic. And it was fun to go around and just discover. I was very curious from a young age and already creative. So yeah, I grew up here, did my whole high school studies here. And then, like you said, I moved abroad for studies and professional development. And by that time, I was not really doing anything creative. When you have African parents. They really want you to go into certain fields that are sure to pay off, So it's usually, being an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, things of that nature. So I did that because I was not bad in science. Went into civil engineering. Um, and then, yeah, for 10 years, so I lived in France and I lived in Canada. Le Mans for people who know, in France, and then Montreal in Canada. After that, I moved. So no, something to mention is that I think, quite early on Instagram. I think in 2011, I was on the platform, or 12, discovering it. And for me, it was great because this was a way that I could use my phone and to do something creative with it. So I started taking pictures, walking around. For anybody that follows me, they can say that I do a lot of street photography. And then, it was the start. That's how I started. I did try to to be a rapper a little bit before that, and never pursued it. But that was those were attempts at doing something creative. But I moved back to Senegal in 2014, and that was an interesting year, I feel, for people in the creative space. You had a friend of mine, you interviewed a friend of mine previously, Milkos, and he mentioned that year. So that was the year where I moved back and I met a lot of brilliant people in photography, in fashion, design, all sorts of arts. And that opened my mind to everything that could be done, right? So at that point, I was just taking photos. I was getting better, and we basically had a group of people, and we were following each other, and we're all trying to do our thing. Um, and that's when I co-founded with friends, Papi, Mami, and also Milkos was part of it. Uh, Instagram channel called Dakar Lives, and that's when I really met a lot of creative people. That went on for a while, and then it's just my mind going in all sorts of places. I moved on to different things, photography in particular. Um, when I moved back, I saw that people were really good with cameras, DSLRs, which are professional cameras, Canon, Sony. And I was using my phone at the time. I didn't know how to use a camera, but that was a challenge for me because I felt like people in fashion and other, domains didn't, they all needed a photographer. So that's basically how I got into it. And I love challenges. So, the first time somebody asked if I could do a photo shoot, I just said yes, and I went for it, and it went well. And from that one, I did many others. Um, and through that, for me, I feel like the creativity process is the same for everything. Um, it's so for me, there was no reason to just be a photographer, So that's how I also got into filming. And a friend of mine, Nix, that you might know, just I told him one day, I said, "Hey, man, I'm ready to film something." And he said, "You are?" And I said, "Bet." Okay. So then I forgot about it, and a few months back, he came to me and he said, "I want to shoot this short film for my upcoming album." And again, I said yes, I did it. So it's online and you can see it. It's called Virgo. And DJing, yeah, DJing was before. I think I started DJing around 2016. I had a lot of friends in Dakar, and we were doing a lot of, you know, uh, good things, just hanging out with each other, um, going out of town. This is when I rediscovered the country. We were going um, in Bourg, in Sin Saloum, in Saint Louis, Casamance, you name it. And I was the one with the phone playing the music, and people were saying how they appreciated my playlist. So one day I just picked up my computer and went to a restaurant and said, "Let me DJ for free." They said yes. and 2 weeks after that, it was packed, and that's how I became a DJ. And yeah, I learned all of that on YouTube. Just watching tutorials and getting better. So,
This is
so yeah, and this is my story. And no, just to finish, sorry to cut you off, Gilles. Yeah, so in the meantime, I worked a bit in construction. Then I did an MBA, and that opened my mind to other stuff that I could be good at, including communication and marketing. And that was my side hustle. In Senegal, a lot of people have, side hustles outside of their jobs just to, you add more to their income. And mine was, consulting for companies for anything, digital marketing and communication. And that came from, starting the Dakar Life page and other things. And one of those companies was La Laiterie du Berger, which after a while, someone from that company started another company called Club Chesan, asked me to be the marketing manager. And then that's how I really went into marketing and communication. And today I work for an international organization just in communication. Voila.
wow.
That's the story. It's
What what a start. What a story. So, mesdames et messieurs, l'histoire en résumé de Seyni B, Seyni Ba, Seyni B est son nom, c'est que comme beaucoup d'Africains, beaucoup de Sénégalais, les parents ne considèrent que certaines études comme des études sérieuses, être docteur, comptable, euh, ingénieur. Et donc, il a été forcé de laisser de côté son côté artistique au départ pour trouver pour suivre un cycle d'études sérieux, entre guillemets. Et donc, il a fait des études d'ingénierie après d'avoir fait ses études secondaires au Sénégal. Il est parti en France, au Mans, pour ceux qui connaissent le Mans. Et puis ensuite, il est parti au Canada. Pendant qu'il était là-bas, il a découvert Instagram, notamment. Il s'est intéressé à Instagram. Ça l'a amené à s'intéresser à la photo. Autour de 2011, hein, donc au tout début d'Instagram, assez tôt du moins. Et puis petit à petit, il a commencé à faire de la photo. En faisant de la photo, il a voulu aussi toucher à autre chose, c'est-à-dire au film. Et ça, à cette époque-là, il était déjà entré au Sénégal. Hein. Il est rentré au Sénégal en 2014. C'est une année un peu magique où beaucoup de choses se sont passées dans le domaine créatif, notamment avec Milkos et d'autres ici. Et un de ses amis, Nix, que vous connaissez sûrement, qui est un musicien de renom sénégalais, lui a dit, il parlait avec lui, il lui dit, je suis prêt à faire un film. Ça n'est pas entré dans un sourd, puisque quelques mois plus tard, Nix lui a dit, j'ai besoin que quelqu'un fasse une vidéo de mon prochain album, et c'est comme ça qu'il s'est lancé dedans. On lui a demandé à un moment donné s'il pouvait faire un photoshoot, et il a dit oui. Il s'est lancé sans peur. Tu me corriges si je fais des erreurs. Hein,
c'est tout bon pour l'instant.
Et c'est comme ça que petit à petit, il a appris différentes compétences dans le domaine de la photographie, du film. Et puis un jour, il était dans différentes régions, je crois Thiès et d'autres régions du Sénégal. Et ses amis, il faisait écouter à ses amis sa playlist qu'il aimait bien. Et un jour, il est allé dans un club. Il a joué, s'étant formé sur Internet à être DJ. Il a demandé à être DJ, ils lui ont permis de le faire. Et une semaine, 15 jours plus tard, l'endroit était plein et il était DJ. C'est comme ça qu'il s'est lancé. Donc, un petit message de ma part, il faut juste oser dans la vie et ne pas se donner de limites pour pouvoir découvrir tous les autres talents et toutes les compétences qu'on a. Et c'est ce que tu as fait. C'est absolument formidable. Alors, let's go right into that. Must have been tough to get by the parents, and you must have had, besides the parents, some ups and downs in what you've been doing. Tell us about how you've been able to overcome challenges in life.
Yeah, thank you, Gilles, for your input. So, funny enough, my dad is quite a creative person. he is a chartered accountant, but he plays guitar, so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I would say. But I felt like he was not going to be open to me going for an artsy, a career. So that was my own way of, uh, you know, um, I was in my own way, if I could say it like that. And it was a life-changing experience to come back home. That was very defining for me to come back home and to see that other people were doing what I wanted to do. And I never, you said it in the beginning, I never really wanted to be put in a box. I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. And oftentimes people come to me and say, "Oh, what are you doing?" It's like, and I say, "Man, I'm doing this and this and that." And to me, that's totally fine. And people don't necessarily get it sometimes, but I've been doing it for 10 years and it's going well. So for me, I think, uh, what did work for me is just going for the moment. When I felt it, I just did it. Like I said, for the DJing part, I just went to a restaurant and I said, I want to DJ for free. Would you let me do it? They said yes. And then I kept going. And then, just I believed in myself and people kept coming. And same for the other arts. I just said yes to the first challenge, and then everything else came. So it's a question of believing in yourself. If I started earlier when I was younger, I probably would have been as good, So I waited because I was not confident um, at that time. But then when I felt it, I just went for it. So for me, that's what made the difference. And my family, I just realized that they didn't have an objection to that. So sometimes you just think that they do, but if you do it well, and then they won't have anything to say.
Donc, pour moi, c'est vraiment une question. Les moments forts et les moments faibles de la vie, c'est vraiment juste une question d'oser et de croire en soi. Euh, Si je prends l'exemple du DJ, du fait que je sois DJ, je suis simplement allé dans un restaurant et je leur ai demandé s'ils voulaient bien que je sois DJ. Et puis, ils ont accepté.
Gratuitement.
Gratuitement. Ils ont accepté et puis ça s'est bien passé. Et puis ça fait un effet de boule de neige. C'est la même chose pour la photographie et pour le film. Je crois qu'on dit le fruit ne tombe jamais très très loin de l'arbre, hein, quelque chose comme ça, en tout cas la traduction anglaise. Et mon père, en fait, était un côté créatif, il jouait de la guitare, et donc il n'était pas défavorable à ce que je fasse appel à mes compétences créatives, à mes compétences dans le domaine de la photographie, du film et de la musique. Mais c'est vraiment une question essentielle. La question essentielle, c'est de croire en soi et de se lancer, tout simplement. You're doing marketing and communication, and you're doing engineering. Tell us a little bit about your jobs. Your job in the engineering and construction field.
So my day job is I work for an international organization in communication. So that's 9 to 5. But on the side, as I've mentioned, my dad is creative. We've started a project. It's been a few years, and people will know about that. And yeah, we're so for me, construction, it didn't feel right to do it working for firms and just be on the technical side. I had to have something creative, and I was lucky that my dad had the same views, and so we have been working on this building for quite a while. It's a project that is built out of earth. It's to be a space for art and culture. It's a big project. I've done a few interviews about that, and outside of that, I've been doing light work for light construction work. Stuff that people request, and I can't take any big project for now, but this is not something that I will stop. You know, I have some things coming up and I will continue to develop it. But it always has to have a creative side to it, an artsy vibe.
Alors, mon travail au quotidien, c'est marketing et communication pour une société internationale. Mais mon côté ingénieur, mon côté architecte, ingénieur, s'exprime à travers un projet commun avec mon père d'un immeuble, d'un lieu que que nous sommes en train de construire pour accueillir justement différentes personnes qui sont des créatifs. Et j'ai quelques autres projets dans le domaine de la construction sur lesquels je travaille à l'heure actuelle. Je résume bien entendu ce que tu dis, je ne dis pas tout.
Oui, non, mais c'est bon, c'est bon.
What is your success formula? What drives you as an individual to be the best person you can be?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think I'm really competitive, but in you know, not. I mean, in not too much. I'm competitive, but not too much. So when I see people in the creative space doing great things, I always try to get to that level. You know, there's tons of great photographers in Senegal and Africa and DJs and whatnot. So I'm always trying to make sure that what I propose is at that level. Also, like I said, I love challenges. So I will, you know, I don't really like to keep doing things that I already know how to do. I love when someone comes to me with a project that I feel like I've never done before. And then I'll find a way to make it happen. And, you know, just really, I'm very confident. So, you know, I'll jump in completely and I'll find a way to do it. So for me, confidence is big and, you know, welcoming challenges.
Donc, la question était de savoir qu'est-ce qui le pousse à être excellent et à être la meilleure version de lui-même. Il a un côté très compétitif, mais positivement compétitif. Lorsqu'il voit un photographe de qualité, il veut aussi pouvoir délivrer des photos de qualité. Et ça le pousse à être le meilleur photographe possible. Je résume juste sur ces points-là. I have a couple of questions. I have looked at your photography.
Yeah.
And what strikes me, whether I look at Seyni B, who you probably know, or Victor, Big Victor,
yep.
All of these are striving for an incredible quality, a global level quality. I find the same in your pictures, but there's something striking. You encapture life. This is the way I see it. You encapture life, but at the same time, you leave the person untouched. And what I mean by untouched is you don't get into their life too much. Mm-hmm. So you capture everything that's really astonishing about their life, but at the same time, you're giving them space for their own identity. Tell us about your creative process from that standpoint. Can you hear me?
Sorry, someone to call. Forgot to be on airplane mode. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hold on, 1 second.
Sure.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
Great. So I was saying that you mentioned two people that I appreciate and I love their work. You know, Alun and Victor. And for me, yeah, it's so I said earlier that I started doing street photography. But like anything else, I don't like to be categorized. And it's very usual for photographers to say, okay, I do editorial or I do street photography or I do this or that. But for me, you know, I do a little bit of everything. I do a lot of architecture photography and street photography and editorial. But for the editorial, the street photography parts, I didn't want to be intrusive in people's lives. So it's very common that tourists would come to Dakar and just take pictures of people without asking, just showing their face. And I feel like this is not the right way to do things. So I started just taking pictures of people in a moment, just capturing that moment in life and making that in a way that, you know, the action is more important than the face of the person. So when it comes to street photography, this is how I do it. It's just there's something that is literally something that catches my attention, and I try to do it as quickly as I can. So pretty much all the street photography photos that are on my accounts, it's not really something that I planned, but I became quicker and quicker. So when I see something, you might see me somewhere in the city, just park my car, cross the street, just quickly go and take the photo because I feel like the moment is going to pass. And I like Gary Winogrand's work, which is a photographer. I think he died like in the early 80s, and he was known for his street photography, where he would take photos of people in New York just doing anything, and then he became one of the most famous photographers just because he was able to capture that moment. Now, when it comes to editorial photography, you know, I always look for a challenge. I always try to do something different, levitate someone, or, you know, but at the same time, it has to feel like a painting in a way. It has to be a little bit more than a photo, because I feel like today anyone with a decent phone can take pictures. So it has to have its cachet.
Ok, got you. Alors, c'est vrai que je n'aime pas être catégorisé dans quoi que ce soit, mais particulièrement dans le fait d'être photographe. Donc, je fais différents types de photos, de la photo dans la rue. J'édite des photos. Je crois que c'est ça le terme.
La photo éditoriale.
Photo éditoriale, merci. Et puis aussi la construction des immeubles, de l'architecture. Mais c'est vrai que Victor et Alune m'inspirent, mais je suis inspiré aussi par d'autres photographes comme Gary, je n'ai pas entendu le nom de famille.
C'est Winogrand.
Winogrand, qui est un grand photographe américain, je crois, et qui faisait aussi de la photo, un peu comme je le fais, en évitant de démasquer les gens, en laissant leur personnalité indemne, mais en capturant en fait l'essence de ces personnes. Voilà, je traduis en traduction libre, mais c'est important pour moi de faire ça. Lorsque je fais de l'éditorial, comment on appelle ça en français?
Éditorial, de la photo éditoriale. C'est les photos de mode pour les magazines, ce genre de choses.
D'accord. J'utilise les compétences requises pour que ça soit vraiment bien fait dans ce sens-là. Donc, j'ai tout un attirail pour pouvoir photographier les gens dans différentes circonstances. There are people listening to us that are inspired by you. What advice would you give to somebody like me? Actually, I like picture photography, and I stopped doing photography because I was doing at the beginning all the pictures of the family. Result is my wife is a very good photographer now, and I'm catching up. So I may be taking your advice, but what would you advise younger people or people of whatever age who would like to take pictures? What are the things that you need to focus on or learn?
Yeah, so I would say, first of all, when I think about the fact that I'm a photographer, I'm really happy because this is something that you can do for a very long time, you know. So I would encourage people to keep on trying. Today, I feel like there's no reason for people that like photography not to do it. You can easily have access to a phone that has a camera that's better than, professional, cameras that were out in the year 2000, right? So you have everything that you need. Um, so I do all types of photography, but I would say for people to find out what they want to photograph. And there's something that people often forget when they take photos. It's the storytelling. Whenever you're a photo, it's not just an image. You have to tell something. You have to say something. So in my pictures, I try to. It's that moment that I was talking about. It has to say more than just, oh, it's an image. And if you go through the titles for each of my photos, I try to always think of 2 to 3 words that just summarizes what you can see in the image. So think of storytelling. And on the technical side, there's a few things that if you do, you will be good at photography. Framing, just make sure that the frame is good. The light is huge. Make sure that you're not taking photos under the sun because it's too much light, but you can find light that is diffused, and then you can take your photo there. Light framing. What else can and composition. Composition is also something that you should pay attention to. So, Gilles, you were saying that you like to take pictures of your family. So first of all, you make sure that they are centered in the picture. Then you make sure that you have the right light. So putting them not too far from a window. And if it's outdoor, not directly under the sun. And then the composition, maybe you want to have a plant on the side, but then you want to have a small table. And then there's a painting in the back, and there you go, you have a photo.
Excellent. So, pour des gens qui seraient inspirés par toi, Seyni, qu'est-ce que tu leur conseillerais pour s'améliorer du point de vue de la photo? Je vais le faire avec toi cette fois-ci. Je t'avais dit que je te mettrai à contribution de temps en temps. Je crois que ça sera plus facile si tu le refais cette fois-ci, cette partie-là.
En français?
Oui, s'il te plaît.
Ouais, avec plaisir. Oui, en fait, je disais, il y a un aspect que les gens oublient souvent pour la photo, c'est le storytelling. Je pense qu'une photo simple, une image, je pense qu'aujourd'hui, sur les réseaux sociaux, tout le monde sait le faire. Mais de raconter quelque chose et de trouver l'histoire qu'on a envie de raconter, souvent, c'est ce qui se passe pour les gens qui font des expos, c'est qu'ils racontent quelque chose. Donc ça, c'est quelque chose. Et d'un point de vue plus technique, le savoir cadrer, c'est simple. Souvent, on est à un anniversaire au restaurant, on donne au serveur, il prend la photo et les personnes sont un peu plus à droite qu'elles sont à gauche. Donc, savoir cadrer et s'assurer que le sujet est bien au centre, ou si c'est délibérément fait, ce qui soit un tiers, etc. Et il y a des lignes sur les téléphones pour pouvoir cadrer ça. Ensuite, la composition de la photo, c'est-à-dire les éléments qui sont à l'intérieur du cadre. Donc, pour Gilles qui nous disait qu'il aimait bien prendre des photos de sa famille, qu'il aimerait continuer, c'est de s'assurer que la famille elle est au centre, mais aussi soit il y a rien autour d'elle, mais s'il y a une plante à gauche, s'il y a une petite table sur le côté, un tableau qui est bien placé, c'est ça ce qu'on appelle la composition. Ça peut être plus ou moins complexe. Et la dernière chose, c'est la lumière. La lumière, c'est quasiment ce qu'il y a de plus important dans la photo. Les plus grands photographes n'utilisent pas Photoshop, ils prennent directement, ils les retouchent pas parce que ils s'assurent d'être au bon endroit, au bon moment, et voilà.
What is extraordinary is the skill set. One skill set that I think those who are listening to us must have, and if they don't have it, go on to Duolingo and learn French and English and Spanish if you can. It's the ability to go from one language to the other. You're totally bilingual, and it's amazing. Well done.
Hablo espagnol.
Ok,
je blague. Pas du tout. J'ai perdu tout mon espagnol que j'ai appris à l'école.
Peut-être le prochain challenge.
Peut-être le prochain challenge.
Oui, tout à fait. A couple of other things. As an artist, how do you feel Hello, Saudas. There's a few people who are making some comments. By the way, if you have questions, this is the time to send them to us, and we will be responding to you. So feel free to write questions here. So as an artist in
Yeah.
the Senegalese society in 2021 and in Africa and the world, how do you feel you're positioned? Is the fact of being a creative more respected today than it used to be when you started your studies and your parents didn't really want you to get there? Or is it less so? What do you feel?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely more respected. First of all, you can make money, so that changes everything. I think when we were growing up, it was not considered a career because people were afraid that you wouldn't make any money. So I know people, and I'm not talking about myself. I know people that are doing great with their art. Just are very successful. So that's the first thing for me. The second thing is you have the tools to get it out there. I think Instagram is one of them, but there's many more that you can use. And Africa, first of all, is full of talent. There's so many. When I see people that are successful and they make all this fuss about it, I feel like they don't know what's coming because I feel like there's so much talent on the continent, and they will just keep on coming. And the younger generation, they have once again access to information, they can share things, and they're pretty much entrepreneurs. So I think we're in a good space, and I'm excited to see what's coming. I'm always telling my friends there's so many DJs in Dakar today, but when I started, it was just there was a few. So and they're doing great. Same for photographers, same for film directors. So yeah, I feel like Africa is in a good space. And also something else that I would say is that growing up, even though I'm going to talk about West Africa, even though we all are in West Africa, we didn't really know each other. And today there's a lot of connection being made between countries, Nigeria, Senegal, and especially among artists. So I think this is something that's going to help the arts from this side of the continent get out there.
So, une question autour des challenges liés à la fonction d'artiste et de créatif. Comment est-ce qu'elle est perçue aujourd'hui? Est-ce qu'elle est perçue mieux ou moins bien qu'il y a 10, 15, 20 ans? Elle est très bien perçue, nous dit Seyni B. Elle est très bien perçue et d'ailleurs on peut vraiment gagner sa vie en tant qu'artiste et je connais quelques artistes qui gagnent vraiment bien leur vie dans ce domaine. C'est devenu quelque chose que l'on peut faire de façon très sérieuse. Moi, quand j'ai commencé à être DJ, il y en avait très peu. Aujourd'hui, il y en a beaucoup et ils sont talentueux. Donc, il faut avoir un certain niveau d'humilité parce que ceux dont les artistes, que ce soit pour la musique ou autre, qui ont peut-être une vue un petit peu imbue de leur personne, ils ne savent pas ce qui arrive. Il y a une tonne d'artistes avec des compétences incroyables qui viennent, qui arrivent sur le marché. Donc c'est vraiment une profession qui est prise au sérieux aujourd'hui et donc on peut vraiment réussir. Et il y a beaucoup, beaucoup de talent en Afrique. I have a couple more questions, my friend, before we close, but I'm just going to check if anybody is asking any questions. They're just making some really nice comments. Hello, everybody. By the way, hello, Bamba, Sauda. I said hello already. There's so many great people.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I see them coming in.
It's really nice to see you here. A couple things. You're a good speaker, a good communicator, and it's part of your profession. How do you prepare for a speech if you have, 10, 100 people in front of you? How do you prepare professionally to have impact as you speak in front of your audience?
Yeah, indeed, preparation is important, and I'm going to use the example of a meeting that I had recently. It was, I think we were about 60 people. It was high profile, so it was important that I prepared for this. What I did is, just literally prepare, which is, have the presentation ready, go through it, print it, write a speech, put it next to the presentation, say it a few times, and then go for it. So I think actually preparing for it is important. Then I'm Muslim, so I say a few prayers before I start talking. So that's very important for me, and then helps calm nerves down. And for the rest, I think again with everything else that I do, I just jump in. I just start, and then from there, I take it from there. You know, I just I use my confidence to just start talking, and then it comes naturally.
Alors, la question c'est comment est-ce que vous vous préparez pour une présentation? Vous avez un marketing, la communication, et comment est-ce que vous faites pour vous préparer pour parler en face d'un public? Alors, pour moi, Seyni B, dit-il, la préparation est vraiment très importante. Alors, je fais des slides, je travaille sur un texte, un discours, je les regarde plusieurs fois, et puis ensuite je les mets de côté et j'y vais. Donc la préparation, c'est vraiment très très important. Mais par-delà la préparation, une fois qu'on est prêt, moi je suis musulman, donc ce qui est important pour moi, c'est de faire quelques prières pour me préparer spirituellement avant de me lancer. Et puis la troisième chose, c'est simplement vraiment de se lancer. Just go for it. Okay, we're coming to an end. Let me just check if there are some questions from the public. They're just making some nice comments. Hello here, hello there. Great polyglots and things of the kind. So that's very kind from the public.
Thank you.
No specific question, I don't think. Let me just double check. I'll carry on.
I'm not sure if I see the comments, by the way. Your screen is still darkened.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's Instagram. We're going to write to them.
Yes, indeed. But thank you, everybody. Merci à tous pour les commentaires que vous faites. Si vous avez une question...
Merci beaucoup.
Parce que je pose mes deux dernières questions. Et sinon, on terminera sur ces deux dernières questions. Alors, d'abord, qu'est-ce que tu as de prévu? What do you have in store next?
Yep, that's a good question. I can just say that I personally feel that I'm really at the beginning. I have a lot more in store. So I'm going to keep, working in all the different things that I'm doing. The DJing part. So let me just talk about that because people feel like I said I will completely stop a few months ago. This is something I enjoy music. I love to share it. It's a great skill to have. So I won't be DJing a lot in the future, but if something comes up, I will still do that. So that's for DJing. But I really want to develop the director side of things, and photography I will keep on doing as well. I love my job. It's going really great for me. It's a job that is very tough to quit, and I don't want to quit. So for now, that's what I'm doing as far as work. I have a construction project coming. So again, I'm going to take it a challenge at a time, but challenges are welcome. So anybody in the chat has some challenges for me, I'm ready.
Donc, quelle est la suite? Qu'est-ce qui arrive prochainement dans votre vie, Seyni? C'était la question à laquelle il répond. C'est une bonne question. Je vais, sur la partie DJ, je vais en faire moi. Bien entendu, si on me demande d'être DJ, je le ferai avec grand plaisir. J'en ferai moins. Par contre, sur la partie directeur de production de film, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui m'intéresse et je vais être assez focus.
Je vais
développer cette partie. Merci. Et aussi la partie photographie. Mais si quelqu'un a des projets pour moi, je suis preneur, donc n'hésitez absolument pas. Voilà, j'ai résumé à peu près ce que tu disais, what you were saying there. I've got a couple questions. One is, I think Nadia didn't want to take the store away because she interviews also, so she sneaked in with a question. I'm going to ask her a question, and I see that our common friend, Sauda, has a question too. So, where do you see yourself in 10 to 20 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 to 20 years? Huh. I will be here in Senegal. I think in 20 years, I'm fully being an artist, traveling. I love to travel. And I can travel for art. Yeah, being a family man.
Ok, donc en 10 ou 20 ans, je serai toujours au Sénégal. Je continuerai à voyager et puis ce qui est important pour moi, c'est d'être un père de famille, un homme très lié et très attaché à ma famille. Nadia, was that your question? Are you still here listening? I guess.
Et vivre de mon art, tu as oublié cette partie.
Sorry. Et vivre de mon art, merci. Merci beaucoup. Je crois que tu as répondu à la question de Nadia. You answered Nadia's question. And here is a question from Sauda. What message would you give to the young Senegalese who are interested in photography?
I would say go for it. It's not that hard. There are plenty of tutorials online, so you can basically learn it by yourself. Contact people that whose work you like or you appreciate and ask them for advice. And, start doing it for free if you don't have a gig. That's how I started. And then before you know it, you'll get some contracts.
Donc pour les jeunes Sénégalais qui aimeraient commencer une carrière de photographe, allez-y, lancez-vous. Il y a énormément d'informations, des programmes de formation en ligne, donc n'hésitez pas à les regarder. Et puis surtout, la générosité que je ressens en toi, c'est ce point-là que tu fais ressortir toujours. Faites-le gratuitement, ne le faites pas pour de l'argent. L'argent viendra plus tard. So just go for it. Allez-y, lancez-vous. Merci pour ces questions, Sauda, Nadia et d'autres. We're coming to the end of our interview. I have one last one. What is the overall message you want to leave on public? Oh, there is another question from our friend Bamba.
Bamba is too late.
So before we take the last question, let's go to Bamba's question.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah, so he says, how do you see the DJ evolving with apparition of AI? Interesting question. Do you think that there is an opportunity for the profession?
Thank you for the question. Interesting question. And I won't limit the answer to DJing because I feel like AI is going to revolutionize every single field. So for DJing specifically, I'm already seeing online people that are not using what we call a controller, which is what you usually see. You have the two decks where you play the music. They're playing with an iPad. So, AI will be able to find the next song for you easily, and connect to Spotify and things of that nature. So, I mean, like everything else is, even in DJing already today, we're using a technology that some DJs from the 80s and 90s, they feel like it's advanced technology. So they used to have the vinyls to DJ and it's analog. So I think evolution is good. And like I said, AI at work already is being used, in professional work on computers and for photography. So I think it's a revolution. It's not something that we will be able to, stop or not use. So I think just embrace it and just stay on top of things and figure out how you can use it in your profession.
La question c'était comment est-ce que vous voyez comment est-ce que tu vois la profession de DJ progresser avec l'apparition de l'intelligence artificielle? Est-ce que tu penses qu'il reste des opportunités dans la profession? Alors, Seyni B répond qu'il ne croit pas qu'il faut limiter l'utilisation de l'intelligence artificielle à la fonction de DJ, mais pour le monde créatif, c'est une opportunité. En parlant de musique, AI permet déjà de choisir des sonorités, des sons, des musiques de façon automatique, mais on peut l'appliquer également à la photo et à d'autres formes de créativité. Donc c'est une opportunité qu'il faut embrasser, qu'il faut utiliser et non pas l'éviter parce qu'elle est là pour rester, tout simplement. Et donc, to my last question,
Yeah.
so what overall message would you like to leave the public?
So going back to my story, you know, for people that are creative and that are younger and that want to do it, I will just tell them to believe in themselves and do it. Also, I would like to say that you don't have to be just doing one thing. If you feel like you have other talents or other passions, you should go for it. Don't let anyone tell you that you're supposed to be this or that. And for me, it works perfectly. I'm enjoying my life and I'm never bored. So yeah, that's great. That's what I would tell people. Just believe in yourself and do whatever you want.
Ouais, donc quel est le message de fin et quel est le message global que vous voulez laisser à notre public? Pour des personnes qui sont plus jeunes, n'hésitez pas, allez-y, croyez en vous-même et lancez-vous si vous voulez être dans une profession de créatif. Ne laissez rien ni personne entraver vos rêves. Allez-y, croyez-y et faites-le. Merci, Seyni. Thank you so much, Seyni.
Merci à toi.
It's been a cool and relaxed conversation as I expected it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So a couple of people, you can't see what they're writing. They say, "Hey, Seyni,
Actually, I'm seeing them now, so I just wanted to say thank you so much. I've seen a few people that are in the creative space in Dakar or some engineers, so I just want to say thank you for joining the call. Appreciate you all. And there's so many people that are doing great things. And Gilles, like I said, I will gladly send over some profiles for you to interview. There's, you know, so much talent.
Indeed, and there are quite a few here. So beware, I'm going to call you guys. Wink, wink, bamba.
Yeah, wink, wink, bamba. You know, you should have a challenge for your interviewee to select the next one.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Portez-vous bien. Merci.
God bless you. Thank you. Bye.
Bon été pour vous. Bonnes vacances. Bye bye, Seyni. Enjoy your
Merci.
holiday.
Bye. Bye.